industrial service SaaS marketplace, Venwiz has backed $8.3 million in a Series A round, which was led by Soren Investments, with participation from several other investors, including angel investors. Now, with this, the total capital raised by the startup to date stands at $11.3 million. And joining us now to discuss this is Rajesh Reddy, who is the CEO and co-founder of Venwiz. And also with me is my colleague, Arundhati Ramanan. Rajesh, thank you very much for your time here and for joining us here on Startup Street. If you could start by telling us, what are these product enhancement and team expansion plans you have? Now that you've raised this fund, you already have about 40 employees, I understand.
Yes, thank you for having me, Ritu. So currently we have around 15 plus clients whom we work with. When I say clients, it's large enterprises, manufacturing enterprises. And we have more than 40,000 plus MSME project vendors on the platform. The current investment which we raised will go towards deepening our relationship with the existing clients and also adding more features to the vendor engagements which we have.
All right. Hi, Rajesh. Arundhati here. Venwiz is a SaaS-enabled marketplace digitizing CapEx and industrial services procurement, and you specifically focus on the manufacturing industry. Can you take us through what you have on offer? How are you creating value for your customers?
So if you pick any large manufacturing enterprise, they constantly keep investing into their own existing ecosystems or setting up greenfield projects for expansion. Okay, for doing these expansion projects, they engage with several large vendors for the projects, as well as a significant number of MSME players to execute these projects. Okay, we as a platform help these large companies find the right possible set of vendors for engagement and execution of the projects.
Is that you operate in, who are your competitors, if any? And what is the total size of the opportunity that you're trying to capture at Venwiz?
So there are a lot of contemporary companies, Ritu, in this market. We have not really seen an exact competition in terms of whatever we do, like-to-like comparison. But there are a lot of companies who are addressing some parts of the same problem, but not really the same problem. And with respect to the opportunity size, we as a company see that nearly $80 to $100 billion worth of capex happens in the manufacturing and allied spaces in India every year. And we are working towards bringing more efficiency in how these projects are done on a year-on-year basis.
All right. Are there any new offerings in the pipeline? You're working on some pilots to strengthen your vendor side offerings, right? So, and tell us a little bit about that. And also, what are your best performing products and what's the demand you're seeing?
So currently our hero product is the discovery product, where a large enterprise is able to post an RFQ on the platform and is able to find the best possible pool of vendors for the job. Subsequently, we are looking at tools which will work towards making the engagement between these two entities better, the large enterprise and the MSME player. And post that, we are working on tools which will help them track the job execution better. So that's going to be the subsequent steps which we are working on. And we are already working on with some clients on pilot phase.
Rajesh, but largely, if you could comment on the environment, because essentially you're saying you're working with SMEs, you're working within the manufacturing space. And if we were to go by the figures, the last quarter GDP figures, for instance, we are seeing continued weakness in manufacturing, and capex hasn't really picked up to the extent that it was expected to. How has that impacted your business in the last couple of years? And what is the sense on the ground? Is it really picking up now?
So with respect to that, Ritu, we are solving a very core problem which exists in the manufacturing ecosystem. And without Venwiz or with Venwiz today, already these scale of capex is already happening. And companies are looking to bring in more efficiencies in the existing scale of capex itself, which is significantly large. So whether that particular number is going to grow exponentially or a lot more is only going to be an advantage to us. But the current scale itself is a large enough problem to be approached by a platform like Venwiz.
All right. And what about revenues, Rajesh? Where will you close this year? What's the road to profitability looking like?
So we are in very early stages of our engagements with the clients here. And at the same time, with respect to our we are already making revenue through our client subscriptions. Currently, we are working on the clients engaging with the vendors and going forward towards making large-scale jobs done through the platform.
All right, Rajesh, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We're completely out of time and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah.